Mythos of Nethroi is probably the card we are going to take. 3 mana, kill a creature is just good.
Shin Godzilla is so good.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla owns
Bastion and General's Enforcer.
Yeah, I mean, I think this card is fine. I don't think it's
saying in
great.
the same pack, it's awkward.
Oh, yeah. I think General's Enforcer is substantially better. There's also a Blood Curdle here. Well, we're passing a lot of good black, but what can you do? You can't not take the very good black card. Instead, take a very mediocre... What would we take if we weren't taking a black card here? Like,
something
Blade
else.
Banish, Vulpikeet? Mediocre. Anyway, we're taking Mythos. 3 mana, instant speed, unconditional removal.
Sorry.
And we're taking a Boneyard Lurker. The card owns. I would love a Deadweight as well, but I don't think it's better than Boneyard Lurker. Yeah. I think this card's pretty decent. Because, like, people don't... Unless they're doing Black-White Humans, there are not a lot of go-wide decks in this format. Man, Deadweight is so good, though. It's still probably the Lurky Boy. Because this is basically mono-black. Like, you can play this fine in mono-black. And, like, the more mutate you get, the better it is, obviously. As with most mutate cards. Yeah, but, you know, it's fine without mutate. Like, you don't need mutate for it to be good. And we're going to play other colors. It's just, we don't know what they are yet. Card is pretty good. Like, we're obviously not taking a black card here. So it's a question of, like, which other color do we want to go into? Splendor Mare is pretty good. It's also an enemy color, which is generally a little bit better to pair with than an allied color. Frostlink's also very good. And Essence Scatter also good. Also 6 Seb art. We could just draft a Seb McKinnon theme deck. I kind of want to try Splendor Mare, though. I just want to cast a 3-mana 3/3 life. Like, I've cast these two cards so many times in my life. I've never cast a Splendor Mare. I guess the other option would be Jubilant Skybonder, because it just keeps us a little bit more open between exactly those two colors, but, you know, whatever. Wow, this pack is strong. Jesus Christ. Look at this. Swallow Hole, very good. Essence Symbiote, very good. Ram Through, very good. Facet Reader, very good. Dreamtail Heron, pretty good. Cavern Whisperer, totally fine. Spell Eater Wolverine, great note, the right deck. I think we're taking Ram Through. Like, I mean, we could take Swallow. Yeah, maybe it's Swallow. It's just so not good on the offense, but maybe that just doesn't matter as much. I guess, obviously, it was great against us last game. Yeah, I guess going into a third color when there's a really powerful option in a color we kind of already are is good. Not that the green card wouldn't have been reasonable as well, but... I like Checkpoint Officer, too. So far, so good. Another Essence Scatter, other good green cards. Nothing that really seems obviously not open. Yeah. Which is weird. I mean, you definitely don't want 3 Essence Scatters anyway, so I guess that's fine, but... Like, every color seems open here, except maybe black. Alright. I do like Vantasaur, but, like, this is a really late Ram Through, and a pretty late Fertilid. Also a late of One Mind. Not going to discount this, but I think I'm going to take the Ram Through, because I would really like to play this Boneyard Lurker. And if we end up playing, like, Green, White, Splash Black, I'm happy with that as well. Pacifism, nice. Another Frostlinks. God damn. I don't think this card's very good. Neither of these black cards are anything to write home about. Neither are these green cards. But Pacifism obviously is. So we're supposed to be white, pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Whatever else is going on, I don't know. I mean, Mutual Destruction is good, especially in, like, a deck that produces tokens, which the black-white deck is kind of all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also right about that, Sarah, which is boggling to my mind, but I feel like Mutual Destruction is high enough upside that we take it over Perimeter Sergeant, which is just a very medium card. Unclear if we're playing black, white, splash, green, or green, white, splash, black, but
one of them.
We're definitely taking Blade Banish here, though. I do like that card in this format, especially.
So that's Smite the Monstrous, right?
What?
That's just Smite
Yeah,
the
it's
Monstrous.
I'm not sure Smite the Monstrous was instant, but I'm not sure it wasn't. I don't remember.
Oh, it might have been a sorcery.
I'm now second guessing myself, which is not a thing I like to do about Innistrad cards, but
just because like Smite the Monstrous, the flavor on it.
Yeah, I'll
fit
take
in
another
the
Blade
set,
Banish.
so
I don't know. We're probably only playing one of these main board, but I like having a second for the sideboard.
So it seems silly to not.
Ooh, that's a pretty late Brushwag. Smite the Monstrous is instant. Okay, so this is really just weird that they didn't.
It seems
just
Smite the Monstrous seems like it.
Wow,
fits
this is a really late
fine,
Vantasaur.
like flavor wise.
So we're really just absolutely waffling between black and green here.
Yeah.
We're definitely neither of those colors. So. Wow! Do people not understand how good this card is?
I guess not.
I guess not. Mythos we can't play. We're definitely not taking the third Blade Banish here. This is not a good pack for us. Guess we take
What's the
Boot Nipper?
Caprador?
Caprador. Oh yeah, this is a weird one.
Oh, how bizarre.
Yeah, I think it's probably okay in like white red. You can make a giant monster very effectively. But I don't think we're super eager for it here. I'm going to take Boot Nipper here, even though we're still not guaranteed black.
Sarah likes the land.
Yeah, I guess the land is good no matter what we are, huh? Although I just really like Boot Nipper, and we have no reason to, like, lean especially heavily towards green. I don't know. You could be right. What is this card? That's pretty good. Holy shit.
Yeah, you only get to do it once, but...
Yeah, I mean, once per turn, though.
Right, exactly.
So we only have 2 cyclers so far, but... I mean, Checkpoint Officer is also good, but it gets less good in multiples. And honestly, I kind of just want to see how this card does. So... Yeah, this costs 2 to tap, which is, like, that's a real cost. 1 to tap is, like, almost free. 2 to tap is very real. You could take a Harvester. Gets a little bit worse with all of our humans, I guess. But we've got enough non-humans that it's pretty reasonable. I guess it's pretty shitty to just cast. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for, Kit. Could take the Coil Bug, but this seems really early. We could just take a Vantasaur. It's great with Checkpoint Officer. It's just a good card.
Yeah, we're not lacking as many 2-drops this time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're taking the Coil Bug here under any circumstances. This will wheel. Chittering Harvester is genuinely tempting, though. Yeah, I mean, we saw Vantasaur so late last pack. I feel like... taking this and planning to wheel one of the others is a better plan. All right, now I will take the land. I don't think this card's great. I don't think this card's great. So, and I do think Evolving Wilds is great. So, yeah, that's that about that. Ooh, a Farfinder. Cavern Whisperer, also good, but Farfinder is a card we can mutate onto. Fixes our splash, because we are definitely splashing Ram through here, I think, with the Evolving... especially once we get Evolving Wilds and Farfinder. Ivy Elemental, you mean? Yeah, green's looking kind of open, but remember, this is from the left, so it's going to be a little bit different in pack 3 anyway. You just don't get that much value for adapting to what you're seeing from the left. Wow, we've seen 2 of these this draft. Or, sorry, this pack, even. A bunch of green cards that we're not going to splash. I mean, we could conceivably splash Monstrous Step. Card's a lot better if you have creatures with trample, but it does cycle for Checkpoint Officer. The other option's Corpse Churn, which is pretty alright. Yeah, it's probably Corpse Churn. It's good with Boneyard Lurker. Good with, like, creatures with cycling. Alright, I'm pretty happy to have a Vulpikeet here. Makes us want to get a couple more cheap non-humans, but I think we'll be able to find them. Like that one. I don't think this card is amazing, but with like... I don't think this card is amazing in a vacuum. I think with Mutual Destruction, with Vulpikeet, with like a few mutate creatures, I think it can get pretty good. All right, now we'll take the Jungle Hollow on the wheel. Happy, Sarah? All right, we'll take a Spontaneous Flight. We'll even put it in the main deck for now, although I wouldn't be surprised
Sarah,
if we try to cut it.
Really
oh, that was a nice wheel.
Good question.
Didn't wheel the Vansasaur, though, interestingly.
No, that's true. Well, maybe it's that people on Arena aren't used to drafting with people who actually know what they're doing. Like, but like as opposed to bots. Like,
yeah, no, I get what you mean. It's just
people
funny.
Who know what they're doing. I mean, people, comma, who know what they're doing.
Yeah, with bots, like figuring out what's going to table with a bot is so
Deeply
different.
mysterious.
Well, I mean, it's not even mysterious. It's just like you'll be able to look at a card and say, this card for sure will table, or this card for sure will not table. And just know. Yeah. Because you know how the bots value these cards, and you're going to see every kind of bot, basically. This is interesting. I'm not sure how to value this card. It's probably good enough. I think this card is good.
The Helica Glider?
Yeah, I'm just not excited to take that early.
Yeah.
Insatiable Hemophage is pretty good. It's really good with Garrison Cat, but I don't think it's better than Hunted Nightmare. That is definitely true. If you play that on the play against an empty board, you are living large.
Yeah, you are so happy.
Interesting. Mutual Destruction is pretty good. I mean, it's great with Garrison Cat and Valiant Rescuer. Nothing else here is really like... I guess it's great with Farfinder, too. Yeah, Boot Nipper is probably the pick. I don't think we have enough cheap creatures to... cheap non-humans to Vulpikeet yet. Mm-hmm. I'm a little sad to pass this, but it's not that great of a card, all things considered. And we have a few removal spells. We're not hurting for it. Valiant Rescuer looking kind of medium, but a 3-1 for 2 with some upside is still pretty good. What does this thing do?
No.
That's strange. We don't have enough counters for that to be good.
No.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely not.
Woof. This is your, like, oh god, I really did not get enough mutate targets card.
Yes.
Like, it's such a role filler for specifically this deck. Like, the black-white kind of humans, kind of mutate deck, but, man, it is a lot worse than, like, Garrison Cat or whatever. Yeah, I like the Tiger. Yeah. Kind of thought this was when it attacked, but it's not. But it's still fine.
Yeah, when it attacked, it would be much better.
Alright. Again, I don't super love the second Checkpoint Officer, although I'll take one if I get the opportunity and probably play it. We're obviously taking Blood Curdle here. We could take a Bastion at some point. Ooh, we're so happy to get this Dire Tactics. Oh man, what a good card.
we are.
We're kind of doing it with this deck.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel quite as like delicious as the last one, but
Yeah,
like,
but you know, we got a sick bomb in the last
oh
one.
yeah,
So.
you bet.
All right. I was gonna say maybe we aren't splashing green after all, but we're splashing green after all.
Yeah.
This Dronith Healer would also be so good in our deck, but yeah, I mean, we don't really have that much human synergy kit. We're not super hurting for those cards to wheel, I think. I mean, we'll take this. We probably won't even play it. We need to cut 4 cards as it stands, so yeah, also kind of actually we probably take one of these sideboard cards over Day Squad Marshal here. Yeah, it's probably Fumes over Memory Leak, I agree. I don't like the Worm. Like, we're not playing enough white for that to be good. This is the saddest Helix Glider in Black-White, because we have no way of giving it Death Touch whatsoever. We can hope they play a Hunted Nightmare. And, like, this card's fine without Death Touch, but it's not amazing. I'm going to put this in our sideboard. Oh, Mutual Destruction Wheel. That's great. Yeah, and yet it's still not great in this format. Like, there are not a lot of X1s in this format. And I feel like a lot of the times when you get into creature combat, it's like one creature versus one creature or whatever, so it's not even great on that axis. I don't know. I've played it a couple times, and it's never impressed me as much as I thought it would, despite being so visually impressive, let's say. It's funny that we can, like, easily activate the extra ability on this, and we just aren't. We're just never going to do it. Another Perimeter Sergeant, huh? Okay. What does this do when you attack? Humans get +1/+0?
Yeah.
Mediocre. I don't think we have enough cycling for this to be good. But we are certainly taking another cycling card for our other cycling synergy to be good. We may still cut this ram through. We may just be splashing green for back for more. And even then, like, are our creatures even big enough for back for more to be great here? I guess it's pretty good with, like, Vantasaurs that you cycled.
The kit, colloquially, it's only really called a Lord if it's +1/+1, I feel like.
Yeah, I that's my instinct as well. Man.
Like, other things
We're cutting this.
get other names. It's definitely good, but, like, I wouldn't call it a Lord, necessarily.
Are we just cutting green here?
Maybe.
I mean, playing Boneyard Lurker on 4, just as a creature, is still pretty good. You think so? I guess, like, unlocking a creature from pacifism is pretty great. Do we need this Coil Bug? We've got a Garrison Cat. We've got 2 Boot Nippers. We've got a Helix, a Glider, and a Splendor Mirror, and this guy and Farfinder. Yeah, we probably don't need the Coil Bug. We've got enough stuff to mutate onto. Yeah, you're probably right. We probably don't have enough stuff to make Mutual Destruction good. I don't think the trample is the relevant part of Ram Through. I mean, you don't need your removal to be early, but it is true that we have a lot of other removal, so having one be, like, pretty conditional on your mana isn't great. Yeah, I think the Ram Through comes out. Makes me sad to say. Also, so many of our creatures aren't good with it, although it is really good with Boot Nipper. Yeah, again, since we have so much other removal, this is probably less relevant. Like, we do want to make sure we have enough creatures to win the game. I guess we only have the 2 Death Touch creatures. This card also gets somewhat better with a bunch of removal, because you can sort of remove the creatures that aren't relevant and then play this to make them sacrifice the big relevant one that your removal doesn't touch for whatever reason. Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid deck. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Sarah. All right, what's our mana look like? We are obviously not playing more than 1 forest. Not with a Farfinder in here and an Evolving Wilds. We can... Did they say... Did the person in chat whose name I forgot say you can click the number to increase it? That didn't...
in the other view.
In the other view. Great. I hate this view. Got it.
Yeah. We want to add 1 back, probably.
Yeah. What's our actual color ratio here? A little bit more white than black. And we have Jungle Hollow produces black. So probably we want 8 plains, 6 swamps. That's like 9 white sources, 8 black sources. That seems reasonable. We're just finishing up the draft from last night. It's a black, white, splash green. Pretty removal heavy deck. It seems okay. I don't know. We just drafted. We haven't played any games with it yet, so sort of remains to be seen. Seems okay. Helica Glider into Chittering Harvester isn't like the worst thing in the universe. I guess I don't really want to draw more lands, so I guess I'll start with an Evolving Wilds. Both of those are going to have to get played eventually. Both of them will come into play tapped, so... That's a pretty good one. We've got one of those in our deck. Kind of, like... I don't know. 2 mana to activate that is a lot less than 1 mana. Ooh. I definitely maybe was supposed to get a swamp there so I could play a black true drop. But that's fine. We're chill. We're just, casually misplaying every now and then. I think I actually kind of want to keep... Well, nah, I'll cycle the Vantasaur. We've also got, I think, some stuff that can get it back, so... Pacifism's alright. I feel like this is going to be a first strike Helica Glider, uncharacteristically. But, like, we're on the defense here. We've got a pretty good hand for weathering an aggro storm late in the game, so I feel like we might as well go to... You know what? I'm just going to set this to play audio when it's not focused as well. There we go. Pyroceratops. That is definitely a card that is either good or bad. Not a lot of in-between with Pyroceratops. A little bit awkward that we can't hold up... Like, we can't play Boot Nipper and hold up a removal spell. I certainly... should have gotten a swamp with that Evolving Wilds, as we are learning. I'm just going to go ahead and pacify... Well, the problem with pacifying Pyroceratops is, like, it just gets really good if they ever have an enchantment removal spell, but, yeah, whatever. I don't care that much. We have the mana. This sort of gives us an attack, too, which, like... I'm okay blocking Boot Nipper on Perimeter Sergeant, if that's the way it has to be. I don't know. Maybe holding back Helica Glider was better there. We're gonna harvest next... Oh, god damn it. Woof. I'm really not playing my best, as they say. Pacifying before you play Chittering Harvester is pretty bad. That is not a great play. I have done better things in my time as a magician of the gatherings. At that point, we're probably just going to play this as a 4/6. Oops. It's Liz.
It's me.
Does
the headphones...
Sounds
I
good,
need headphones.
Anna. You will need headphones once Anna joins voice chat, yeah.
Right.
Right now, you'll just hear arena noises, but...
Oh, I'll hear arena noises?
Yeah, it's working now.
Mysterious.
Well, this would have been a pretty good turn if I hadn't really majorly fucked up. But I guess instead it won't be. I mean, we'll probably blood curdle something, or either they can't attack. Well, I guess they're going to be checkpointing our Helica glider. Maybe we're supposed to dire tactics this guy first? I don't know.
Hey, Nat, I have some magic advice.
Yeah.
Don't majorly honk it.
I already did, and I apologize.
Oh.
I played a pacifism on their creature when I had a sacrifice effect in hand. Just, like, really loose.
Wow.
Ooh, that's not a good one. I mean, it's good for them. It's not a good one for me. One thing I really don't like is you can't see... Oh, there you go. If you right-click it, you can see the texto cards on the stack.
Oh, yeah,
anyway, that extra stuff doesn't matter for several reasons. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, dire tactics this. I'm going to do the perimeter sergeant. Like, either one stops the same amount of damage here, and costs me the same amount of life. Doing it on perimeter sergeant means that it just has a little bit more upside. Like, yeah, it tussles a little bit less well with creatures on its own, but I've got a fair number of things that tussle with that. And, like, Chittering Harvester kind of nixes that.
Could we turn down either our volume or the amount of arena volume?
I guess so. Is it?
It's a little bit loud for me.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're just harvesting here for no value because we nixed the amount of value we were going to get off of that card. All right, so we're kind of... Oh, right, they can still checkpoint officer. Ugh. We probably have to blood curdle this guy at this point. Oh, actually, that's better. Can save the blood curdle to use when we maybe have something better to give menace. I mean, arguably, it would also be good to save the mutual destruction for when we have less mana available, but I don't know. Ooh, they do have enough mana to activate Mythos of Vadrock. Even though... I don't know. The extra thing on that doesn't seem great to me. All right.
You know what I would like?
No.
I would like to own a Seb art, except there's no way I would want to pay as much money as he could get for it.
Yeah.
Like, Godspeed, I know that if he sold anything that's really real, people would pay basically whatever he wanted, and I support that. I just wouldn't.
Yeah. It would be cool, though. I would also like that. Alright. Vantasaur. It's the sorest sore there is. It's a Vantablack joke for you color fans out there.
You're a nerd.
You're a nerd.
Yeah.
She's a nerd. Alright, this isn't terrible. We've got attacks. I mean, they block this Vantasaur, but whatever. We have, it has vigilance, so no harm, no foul. Come on. Do a thing, please. Yeah. Oh, are they just gonna try to 2-for-1 themselves on the Vantasaur? No. Oh, you know what I bet they have? I bet they have the thing that deals 4 damage to an attacking creature. That's not great for us, but I think it's fine. Okay, well, if they're gonna just use it, like, I'll take the 2-for-1. What they're supposed to do here, what you can do, just for reference, is you can wait to cast this in the end of combat step, at which point it will, like, creatures are still technically in combat. They have attacked or blocked, but damage is already dealt. It's done. So they could have cast that when this had 2 damage marked on it, and it would definitely have killed it, rather than waiting rather than doing it eagerly and letting me, 2-for-1 them. Because, like, obviously they had that. That's the only reason you make that block. But, like, it wouldn't make sense for me to just kill the main serval, and I guess it was a 3-for-1. Kill the main serval and still let them keep that heart card in their hand. Because although that is a 2-for-1, it's just not 2 very good cards. What do we like against them? They have a lot of, like, X2s. I don't know if Suffocating Fumes is good. I don't know if this card is good in general. It reads so strong, but then there just aren't a lot of X1s, and the, like, set of cards it's good against, I just don't know. I actually kind of like the Coil Bug, given that they had a bunch of X2s and that they're coming out swinging early. I like that this blocks effectively, and it's a decent mutate target going forward. Probably want to cut, like, I don't know, Garrison Cat, I guess. Anna, if you're paying attention right now, remind me when you're on chat to tell you about the sweetest play we made last night.
The sweetest play. Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
You might have read about it on Twitter, but it's still worth hearing about. Unfortunately, we did not record it, but all right, I'm putting one of these Vantasaurs on the bottom, because I'm just gonna cycle it anyway. This time we are getting a swamp with the Evolving Wilds, just so everyone's aware. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, they're gonna bash me. I'm not gonna forget to activate... Oh, they aren't gonna bash me. That's weird. There's nothing I could do to stop them from bashing me here, and it takes 1 less mana. Yeah. As usual, this gets Death Touch.
Yes, of course.
Well,
Wait, what
the thing is, we could just mutate it immediately afterwards.
Ooh, that is pretty sauce.
Make it a 3/4, and then flying is a lot better. Or sorry,
Yeah.
lifelink is a lot better.
What
Yeah, I think we're gonna give it lifelink.
Yeah.
Also, like, they don't have a lot of big creatures as far as we can tell. Most of their creatures do just die to a 2-power creature anyway, which is why we sided in the grub. The grub. Call it Grubhub. This grub. In case you were wondering which grub, it's this one. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't draw the land. I'm just gonna play the Coil Bug, I think. Like, we could cycle Vantasaur, which makes us more likely to be able to Vulpikeep next turn, but there's a pretty good chance we draw a land next turn anyway, and this lets us just start bashing for more damage guaranteed. Higher upside, arguably similar. Medium. Hey, we drew the land. Alright. Reasonable chance they just kill this Bootnipper, although I don't even know if there's actually a removal spell in this set that does it for 2 mana. Yeah, we will go over. Thank you. And now this monster is just horrible for them. It's like a 5-drop quality card. And they're stuck on mana too. So I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Come on. We gotta finish this up by 7. Ideally. And lifelink is just strong against them, so. This card is not pulling its weight, by the way. I don't think this card is very good. Like, paying a mana to do this... If this didn't cost a mana, it might be okay. Alright, so they had the Flame Spill. That's moderately annoying, but... Because they did 2-for-1 us there. Like, legitimately, it would have been... Like, that was 2 pretty valuable individually creatures. But we're still in a pretty good position. Splendor Mare is also very good here. Farfinder... I mean, Farfinder is always a good card, and it is helping save them from their mana problems. But... presumably this is why they kept that hand. Like, keeping a 2-land Farfinder hand is not at all unreasonable.
Yeah, just it didn't work out. Like...
Yeah. Slam and Jelcum to the Wham. Sighing at myself.
Yeah.
So, we have a couple options here. We could just play Helica Glider, or we could cycle Vantasaur, try to hit a land, and play Helica Glider anyway. It's a little greedier. I think we'd probably just play the Glider. We just really want to get the pressure on here. Flying, because they don't have any flying blockers. Yeah, they've activated this card every single turn, and we're still above 20. So...
Yeah.
I mean, partly that's because our deck is good, but...
Yeah, like we did make a life... Well, how much life did we gain off the lifelink once it, or did we never...
3, and then we gained 3 more off Splendor Mare.
Okay. It's not terrible.
Nope. So, I mean, they've dealt us 5 damage, but, like, it's much worse than, like, a 2-2 unblockable would have been, and a 2-2 unblockable would not have been great here. Alright, that's a little bit awkward. I definitely was hoping for a swamp, if anything, so I could cast this Boneyard Lurker. Or a forest, I guess. We are definitely cycling Vantasaur now. There's that forest. So next turn we can Lurk, get back, probably Splendor Mare. Maybe Vulpikeet. Yeah, actually Vulpikeet's probably better, because then if we can Vulpikeet onto the Boneyard Lurker, we get both triggers, and that's pretty sick. Well, that's annoying. They get back Mythos. They can't cast it until next turn, but it's still like... Wow, attacking with this is so greedy. Oh, it has Vigilance. Never mind. Not quite as greedy as all that. Ooh, Blood Curdle was a good draw. Because now we can curdle this guy's blood. They do get to kill the Coil Bug next turn. But killing a Coil Bug is not that big of a deal. I'm just in a good position to draw a lot of relevant cards. Or just return the Coil Bug to my hand, potentially. I could also play Boneyard Lurker, although I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like as much as we have them to a really low life total and we want to capitalize on that, I feel like there's a very reasonable possibility that they just stabilize here. And yeah, like, well, what we're doing this turn is actually here. Let's cycle the Vantasaur Then we can... Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Because the coil bug has menace right now. So this really puts a lot of pressure on them to specifically kill it next turn. They could also try to play another blocker on the assumption that I can't have that much more removal, but I do, so that would kill them. So at this point, they literally have to cast this next turn. And at that point, I might just play Boneyard Lurker, because I do have 2 pieces of removal. If only I had a permanent with Flash, because sacrificing something in response to it being killed is nice. Hello. Wow.
You're my wife.
They got greedy, and they will be punished for it. It's a great lesson in how cards that don't affect the board state are just, like, not great, usually. Because, like, yeah, this card did deal probably 8 to 10 damage to me over the course of this game, but, it just, like, the amount of damage they deal to me does not matter if, I deal more to them and then win the game. Like, if my board presence is just stronger than theirs, it's kind of irrelevant. This is okay. We've got a fair number of cards that make this hand playable. Basically, we just need to draw a cheap creature to Vulpikeet onto, and this is pretty okay. Another red deck, huh? Alright. This time we're getting the swamp. Yeah, it's not the best, but... I'm gonna cycle this Vantasaur. They're a long way off from 6. And I'm doing this now, and I'm keeping the white open because we do have a white 1-drop in our deck. It is a kitty. Yeah. Valiant Rescuer is actually not terrible with Vulpikeet. We can make it a 4/2 flyer, which is kind of nice. It's also pretty good with Mutual Destruction. It could also just get killed. Certainly another possibility. We might just raw out the Vulpikeet. That would kind of suck, but... Alright, that's not... Man, we ever think of, like, to make the human token? Well, this hasn't gone to what I would call plan. It's weird that the Vulpikeet makes, like, a falcon screech noise.
Yeah.
Alright.
Foxes scream.
Like a falcon?
No.
We are in a somewhat awkward position here. Alright, that's something. We can play Patagia Tiger next turn. For the time being, I'm just gonna kill this guy. We could pacify it, but it's the sort of creature we don't really want to have hanging around because it has a pretty relevant activated ability if they have any other menace stuff. Like this guy. That's another menace stuff. Another one that I don't really want to pacify, but... Yeah. Take some damages. Yeah. Our mana's not the best. We do have, like, a Farfinder in here, I'm pretty sure. So So, like, it shouldn't be that hard to cast this, but in practice it is being pretty hard to cast this. Oh, that's actually not terrible, because we have the Mutual Destruction. This makes Mutual Destruction into just a 1-mana removal spell. That's pretty okay. I think I might just... Woof! Shark! Yikes! Okay. I'm gonna pacify that shark. I'd rather... Actually, I'm also gonna mutually destruct the Howl Bonder. It's very possible they'll play a better creature than Howl Bonder, but it is kind of beating up on me right now. I really don't want it to get Menace and be essentially totally... or get Death Touch and be essentially totally unblockable. I don't know. Might have been greedy. Yeah, I was greedy.
Shriek.
That's right, Liz. Shriek. We're not
Helping.
dead, but we're not, like, alive either. If they mutate something onto this, we are pretty much dead. They've genuinely got serious Menace synergy going on in this deck. It's kind of cool to see. Oh, come on. Now we're dead. Alright. Well, their deck has some good early plays, and also some good mid-range plays, and also some very good late plays, so... I'm nervous. I mean, we did see 2 3/2s. And a 2/2 that was pretty relevant. But I don't know if this is really better than Garrison Cat with it. Well, there's only the one Mutual Destruction. Garrison Cat was sort of when I was in there for when I was playing 2 of them, but maybe Coilbug is just better when there's only one in there. Maybe I should just adjust my deck after this match. Yeah. Alright.
Game. I wish to game.
Good game.
Yeah.
They spell their name almost the same way as my friend Aaron, but not quite. Alright, this is keepable. Get rid of this 6-drop. I would love to draw this later. I'm glad we're shuffling it back in with Evolving Wilds. We do have a lot of removal. Like, we should be fairly well set up against their deck in general, I think. Although we do have the green spell that I just put on the bottom of my library and am now shuffling back in, I'm going to fetch a swamp, I think, because we have multiple... Well, it's funny. I guess we have one double black spell, one green-black spell, and one spell that can use black or green. I'm going to get the black because the double black spell is more important to cast early. But I could see an argument for getting the green because we're more likely to draw our second black naturally. And either of them works for this guy, as I mentioned. I really don't want them to just... Actually, if I had 2 white sources here, I could Checkpoint Officer and then Swallow Whole with the Checkpoint Officer, which would be pretty sweet. But I don't, so I'm just going to Dire Tactics this. I don't really want them to get a bunch of card quality right now. It's also possible they kept a hand that was relying on that to survive. That's annoying. That's anti-annoying. Although they have enough... sorry, Liz. Thank you. They have enough removal that maybe mutating this is a little questionable, but we do have the Boneyard Lurker to get back some card advantage. Could also lurk this up to a 5/5, which takes it out of range of flame spill, which is nice. Alright. This is probably going to get swallowed whole. Oh, wow, just slamming. Yeah, I guess that's good. Alright. We don't have any permanents in the graveyard right now, right? I guess we have an Evolving Wilds. I don't really want the Evolving Wilds right now. I'm pretty happy to just do this. Pumping the checkpoint officer isn't, like, the best thing in the world, because you don't really want this card to be brawling all that often, but I think getting rid of their big flyer is pretty good, so... Aw, man. Aw, beans. It's okay, we get to lurk it back. Unless they kill this. Aw, beans! Oof. Alright. Well, next turn we can return the durable coil bug, if nothing else.
It's very cute.
And very durable. Oh. Okay. That's not terrible.
I appreciate that the music changed right when we drew a Hunted Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't block. Yeah, they don't have anything. They only played the, they only attacked because they couldn't effectively block because my guy has
Does
menace.
Lurker, mutate?
Yeah.
Okay.
It mutates to return a permanent from our graveyard to your hand. It's very strong.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! That shark is so great! So we go to 2 here, which is not good. I don't like that.
No.
We can just play out Boneyard Lurker to block if we need to. We could also potentially mutate, but that doesn't seem great.
Yeah. What's the
Doesn't-
mutate cost on it?
4.
4.
Like, mutating doesn't affect its stats. Actually, this is probably better, just playing this guy. Because it blocks here, this guy blocks here, and then we have a better card in hand than if we kept this in hand and played this guy to block instead. Like, either way, we're trading, but this is a little bit... This leaves us in a little bit better of a position. We're also, obviously very dead if they have any removal spells like that one. Alright. Bummer, but, I can't say their deck was worse than ours. In fact, their deck was substantially better than ours.
Shork.
It had a Shork, for example. That Shork, very strong card.
Yeah.
I like that there are a bunch of Shorks in this set.
Yeah.
This is a good hand.
I was gonna say, is this hand as good as it seems like it probably is?
Yeah.
Cool.
Boot Nipper is very strong. Pacifism is also very good.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
So it does... Oh, no. They have a companion that's active. Horrible.
Gross.
It's so gross. They're casting it next turn, I guess. Given that, I guess we give this guy lifelink so that it can block this effectively. Or let's play a Fertilid instead, is another option. We're going to play Helica Glider so we can start attacking the air. They're probably just going to attack for 3 with Fertilid next turn. So I'm going to offer the trade here.
Wait, it says lifelink.
Yeah, I gave it lifelink intentionally because I want
Oh.
it to block this guy at some point. This guy.
But you
Oh
got
my
it.
god, it gives it vigilance too?
Yeah.
Christ alive. That's... Companion's such a stupid mechanic. Who thought that was a good idea? Watsy of the Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're winning on board, so there's that. And next turn, like, we can Boot Nipper into Swallow Hole, which is pretty good. I mean, we're still spending a very good card for them not having to spend a card, but ooh, we can actually even Nightmare into Swallow Hole, and if we're very, very lucky, okay, so they could have the +1/+3 and reach spell here. It's sort of what they're representing.
With the companions, when they get exiled, do they just go into the command zone?
I guess there's really nothing we can do about that.
Like, can they get cast again, or are they gone?
They cannot get cast again. Okay. They are not commanders. I'm just attacking with the... Oh. Yeah, no, there are other reasons for them not to attack there. This is risky. Because if they kill our Vulpikeet, it's pretty bad. But if they don't kill our Vulpikeet, it's very, very good. So there's also a chance that they'll just put the Death Touch counter on Kahira here.
That'd be nice.
In which case, we will swallow it whole and live a life of luxury. But given that they're shrinking their Fertilid, I'm guessing that will be their choice of target. Oh, no, we got lucky.
Wait, why would they put it on the Fertilid if they're shrinking the Fertilid?
Oh, those creatures aren't tapped anyway. Because 1/1 Death Touch is like, hey, Adam, pretty good. Anyway, it doesn't matter anyway because these creatures aren't tapped because they have Vigilance. Oh. Vigilance. Vigilance Bellringer. Alright. This is fine. And not in the dog meme sense. We can
pacify the tiger.
Yeah, pacify their flyer. This Swallow Hole looks terrible against them. We have to remember to side that out.
Yeah.
They can double block this guy. Yeah, maybe it's not good because they don't even have to kill their Kahira here. They could just double block with Sabertooth Fertilid, and that's not very good for us.
Blam, blam.
I like Haunted Nightmare at this point more as a... I'm going to give this one lifelink again as well, because all of their creatures just die to it anyway. I like Nightmare here more as like a threat for them not to... I would say tap out, but they can't really tap out on the attack anyway, so... do I have them dead? Let's see. I have 4 attackers. They have 4 blockers. 2 of them have to block Hunted Nightmare. One of these guys doesn't get blocked, but that means Boot Nipper does get blocked. So basically, if I attack with everything, they take the Helica Collider, eat my Vulpikeet, trade these 3 for these 2.
And then we play Potato Tiger.
And then we play Potato Tiger. And we do have lethal attack next turn. So, yeah, I think that's good. Put them to 1, have 2 flying attackers for next turn. And they don't have Kahira on the battlefield anymore. So, like... Well, that's very, very bad.
Adam says, how do we feel about the Nightmare?
I think it's pretty decent. I think it's pretty decent if you can cast it early. I'd never, like, splash it. Because, like, what's good about it is it's a 4/5 menace on turn 3. Or 4. Yeah, this is not good. I would say. I would say it's bad.
Well, they're not killing the nightmare.
They are because the Kahira has Death Touch.
Oh.
But at least our Swallow Hole is live again.
True.
And if they attack with the tigers, or even if my tiger gets a counter on it, it can at least reasonably tussle with their tigers. This is sort of a weird situation where like Splendor Mare on its own doesn't really do anything. It doesn't attack into Patasia tigers at all. I'm still going to cast it though, because if I can mutate onto it with anything of any size, it's really good.
Yeah.
That main deck wilt, ugh, brutal. We have some pretty good draws.
What are they ramping to? I'm curious.
I don't know. Something. I'm scared of it.
Well, it's not going to be one of the monsters because they're clearly just 2 colors.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean there
Fiend
aren't
Artisan.
plenty of options, just...
That card's good. Yikes. Yeah. Card is very good. Okay, Boneyard Lurker is also very good, though. What can we get here that's really good? Can we... How much mana do we have? Oh, not quite enough.
Nightmare
Um,
there? No, they have too many dudes.
yeah, Nightmare...
Well, no, yeah, they have too many dudes.
It's okay, but it's not great here.
So, Adam, the dream is you play it on turn 3, they don't have any dudes yet, and Death Touch counter goes nowhere, and you have a 4/5.
Yeah. But even if they have one dude, yeah, like the idea, the menace does balance it to some extent. So we could get... I might just get Vulpikeet.
Sure.
Because then we have a really strong threat of like a big flyer that they have to deal with, and we get to activate the mutate again if it lands on Splendor Mare. So, yeah. Choose over. Thank you. Unfortunately, we can't do it this turn, which would be really sick, but... yeah, we definitely can't attack with it yet.
No.
Probably going to swallow whole this Fiend Artisan after it activates, because fortunately it can only activate as a sorcery. Although it's going to get something horrible. We have so much mana here, and... Oh! Or it will not get something horrible. That's pretty good for us. Let's see. What are we getting this time? It could be a Helica Glider to get us another relevant flyer. It could be a Hunted Nightmare. Although, given that we're sort of battling it out in the sky at this point, I don't think Hunted Nightmare is great.
Yeah, it seems like flying might be what
Yeah, it's probably Helica Glider. So as long as we have 1 Plains untapped, we're fine here. Well, that's bad. And we still do get the Vulpikeet, but all of our other plans are dashed. We aren't cycling this Vantasaur. We want the Vantasaur.
Big dino.
Big dino. Any removal spell here is pretty good for us. We can start bashing through the tigers. Cycling Migration Path. Sure. We do have a fair number of removal spells in our deck. Notionally.
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay. The Forever Beast is charging. Alright, Fiend Artisan is on the attack. Which is nice. That means we get to swallow it whole. Might mean we don't get to play the Vantasaur this turn, but we could draw a land too. And like, we're at enough life that I'm not too worried if they just crash back with a bunch of stuff. I mean, maybe they have the right idea. Actually, yeah, they have the right idea. We gotta just cycle this guy. A 3/6 Vigilance is just not doing enough right now. Finally, Swallow Whole does anything. They must just not have many good creatures to draw to in their deck if they just never activated that. Like, I mean, I get that they got to hold up Blade Banish or whatever, but still. Alright, they're passing. They know they can't really attack with these Tigers, although not attacking with the 1/4 Vigilance I think is strange.
I looked away and then I realized it's really different.
Blood Curdle probably wins us the game here. I mean, you know, a lot of things could go wrong, but a lot of things could also go right. And they did.
That went right.
That did go right.
Matt, I want to be a lesbian. Wow.
So I said I was going to side out Swallow Hole. I'm actually changing my mind on that because we really, like, we just have to remove their companion, or, you know, they have an Anthem with Vigilance forever. So I think...
yeah, Adam, that was... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of removal spells in our deck, and we only had to draw one of them, so...
Still
I mean, the Menace one is particularly good, because it does just win us the game on the spot, but yeah. I actually kind of like another Mutual Destruction here, because they have a lot of big creatures that we want to kill, and if we get into a similar situation, there's just going to be a board stall where nothing really matters. I think they're probably keeping in the enchantment removal, so I'm just going to take out the pacifism. They're like green-white. They're the big enchantment removal colors, so I think swapping out pacifism for Mutual Destruction makes some amount of sense. It's possible we also want the Coil Bug. It does go well with multiple Mutual Destructions, but... we're keeping this on the draw. It would be very questionable on the play, but on the draw, especially with a Farfinder, I think it's reasonable. Mutual Destruction, also good with Farfinder. Swallow Hole, pretty decent with Helica Glider. When I took Dire Tactics, I actually thought we were going to have a fair number of humans in our deck, and we really don't, but that's okay. We have a bunch of, like, tiny synergies that can theoretically come up, and mostly just don't. We could just hold up Dire Tactics for this thing, but I think it's probably better to get a Boot Nipper on the ground. We still haven't drawn a land, which I don't like. This time I think we are going for Death Touch. We don't really have a proximate way of making the lifelink good. And, of course, we immediately draw the Vulpikeet. If they want to make this trade, that's fine with me. I'll happily save Dire Tactics for a better card, but, well, they don't really have a better card in their deck. But,
You got cup? No.
I will happily save Dire Tactics, is really what I'm getting at. Like, they have about 6 relevant creatures in their deck, as far as we saw, and we have pretty good evidence to believe that that was it, because, they didn't search up anything with their searchy card. So saving our removal spells to deal with, like, you know, the 3/4 flyers, the guy we just killed without a removal spell, nice. That sort of thing, I think, works out really well for us. Okay. Played nothing we wanted to Dire Tactics either. I'm happy to Farfind here, I think. Like, we could play Boot Nipper and try to get, like, the Vulpikeet 3/4 lifelink online, but I don't know. I like using my mana. Searchy card. Yeah, exactly. Technical term. Some people call it a tutor, but that's just slang. And like we have 5 cards in hand here, or sorry, four lands in play here, so we can just like Boot Nipper plus Dire Tactics next turn if we want to. We can even draw a land and just Boot Nipper into Vulpikeet, although I don't like that so much because they can just follow it up by killing this before we even get the value out of the Vulpikeet. I'm pretty happy to trade here. My 1/1 isn't doing anything. I think they might just activate this, or not. Ooh, that will be a good one at some point. Yeah, we're just doing this. We're doing it with lifelink. Even if we don't Vulpikeet it, they don't seem to have a lot else going on. We still have several removal spells, so I think we'll be able to get our value out of the lifelink. I mean, they could just play the 3/6 Vigilance and make me look like a fool, but oh, to be the person whose job it is to design these graphics. Yeah, we're doing this. They don't seem to have like a lot of removal going on. I think the only like real spot removal we saw was destroy a creature with power 4 or more. If they didn't have that, we could have just Boneyard Lurkered first and then Vulpikeeted later. But given that they do have that, it doesn't seem as good. Okay, well, that's actually pretty great for us when it comes right down to it. I don't think Colossification is a great card, and here's why. I suspect they concede to this.
It seems plausible.
Nope, guess not. Nope, I was right. They did concede to it. All right.